My name is Sebastian Adamski, SU linebacker and former Drake University football player. After many prayers and thoughts, I'd like to say I'm declaring for the 2026 NFL Draft.
Come on.
2-time PFL champion, 2024 Drake leading tackler, 15th in the nation in tackles per game in 2024. 2025 SU leading tackler, 10th in the nation in tackles per game. I had over 250 career tackles, 18 plus TFLs, 2 career interceptions, 3 career forced fumbles, and 3 career fumble recoveries.
What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I would say just like the care I have for my friends and whatnot. I truly value all the time people have invested in me, especially my close group of friends. I can say I've had each close to my friends come to my games and whatnot, and that truly means a lot to me. And I try to repay that back as much as I can by like always just reaching out to them, calling them, and stuff like that. Like I take a lot of pride in and just being there for people, because I know like especially in this journey, a lot of people have been there for me and always supported me. So that's one thing I try to focus on a lot.
Who was the first person you called when you decided to declare?
It was definitely my dad. My dad's been there for me since the beginning. When I started playing football when I was 7 years old, he was a coach, and he always did whatever he could on his off time to help me. I especially remember at his job he switched his schedule to work from like 5 a.m. to 2 so that he can come and help football in the afternoon, and that's something that I just truly appreciate from him. And he was the first person I called, and we just talked about it, and I told him I really thought I had a shot, and he's like, yeah, you do. Go chase your dreams. You work so hard for it. So I knew I had to make that happen.
If football didn't exist, what would you be doing right now?
I think if football didn't exist, I'd be something in the trades field, so like a welder maybe or something like that. Or I've always thought Border Patrol is interesting. A lot of my friends, their parents are Border Patrol, and I think it's just a cool job. So I think I'd be doing something like that.
What's one thing you'll miss about college football?
Definitely just being with the guys. Like I know it's very cliche to say, but just being around friends all day, every day, it's just something I'll forever cherish. Like especially this last year, we made a tradition of like once a week, twice a week, guys would come over to my house and we would just cook steaks and just watch a movie and laugh and watch the games. Like it's just very fun, and you appreciate those times and those relationships you build.
What part of the grind doesn't show up on film?
I would say it's all the lonely hours. Like, it's not like a bragging thing or anything like that, but there's not a single person that knows how many hours, sweat, tears, blood I put into this. There's many days and many nights that it was me just alone, like in the weight room or on the field or doing anything football wise that I always knew it was gonna work out one day. And what always pushed me was like just the people that always didn't believe in me, and I guess you could say your haters. I always love proving people wrong, especially myself, because they always say shoot past the stars, because if you don't do that, at least you'll land on the moon. So I always thought you should go as high as you can. You never know what you may reach.
What's the one habit that changed everything for you?
Definitely learning the difference between motivation and discipline. I don't believe in motivation anymore. It's just discipline. As a man, some days you don't want to do certain things, and that's a very normal human thing to do. But you gotta be able to just persevere and go through it and complete the things that you have to do. And that was one thing I learned. Like even when I didn't want to and I still did it, like the feeling of doing it afterwards was much better than the feeling of, oh, I'm just going to take today off and rest or whatnot, because, you know, not when you're not the most talented guy, you got to always think that there's someone chasing you and there's someone wishing they're in your position. So when you have that mindset that when you get to the top, the only person you verse is yourself, and that's the hardest thing to do. But if you can lock in every day and truly beat yourself every day, you'll be very successful in life.
Who carried you through the toughest moments?
Definitely, I would say at Drake, it was my friends, my house. Shout out the Waffle House. They brought me closer to God, and we used to go to church every day together, or every Sunday together, and that really helped me build my relationship with God and realize that everything's for a purpose, and God puts you through trials and tribulations because He knows you can get past them. So that's one thing, and then another thing I would say is my friends. You know, just always being able to have a little distraction here and there and just get away and just go have fun with your friends is always something that I cherish and I appreciate from them, because, you know, trying to always be the best is hard. So sometimes it's good to have a little distraction here and there.
What went through your head before you clicked declare?
So luckily these last 2 years I was able to have really good years, and you know, I always thought if I just got the chance and the opportunity to prove what I can do, I'd run away with it and take all the marbles with me. And so, I mean, just being able to have the ability to perform and my coaches to trust me, basically giving me the keys to the car, you know, and just being able to go drive, that's something I can't thank them enough for, because now I have the opportunity to hopefully play in the NFL.
What does this moment represent beyond football?
Yeah, sure. This moment represents everything, all the hours I sacrificed, the time I spent on making sure I got good grades, making sure I was a good student, making sure I was respectful to everybody, making sure that, you know, I made sure that everything I did to my best of my ability, whether I was, you know, folding laundry or making food or going to school or anything like that. You know, I always just try to make sure I'm doing it to the best of my ability, and being able to lock in and hone on those skills has really helped me.
What separates you from someone more prototypical?
I would say it would be my desire and my discipline and truly my love for the game. Football is a sport that you truly have to love, and I learned that throughout college. There's a lot of players that, you know, go to play for 1 year or one semester and they end up leaving. And you gotta, even if your team's doing bad or good, there's always gonna be hardships, and understanding that football is, you know, it's not gonna last forever. And that's something that I've realized, and that's why I cherish every moment of it now, and just understanding that you gotta put everything you have into it, because one day, you know, you can't strap up those cleats.
What promise are you making to yourself right now?
Right now I'm promising myself that when I leave to Colorado Springs, that I'm gonna give everything I got. I'm gonna go back to my old habits of doing extra work on the side and doing everything I need to do to be successful. I'm gonna take in all the little things I've learned throughout the years and really just put them all into play right now. And it's either go big or go home. And there's nothing more than, you know, leaving home, going somewhere I've never been, going to a place where I know nobody, and not even really having a place to stay, but going and just training every day and getting myself better to hopefully perform on pro day.